Y estamos acá en la cancha, estamos en el Bernabéu donde viene Messi con la pelota, lo ve a Ronaldinho, pide Ronaldinho, gol.
O toque de cabeça, olha chance, olha gol! Gol! Golaço!
¡Qué golazo!
Ladies and gentlemen, señoras y señores, welcome back to the Golazo Football Podcast with yours truly, DTG. You know how it is. You know how the thing goes. Another disclaimer. I feel like I do this often with you guys ever since I've taken over, but another quick apology. As you guys know, it's September, back to school season. If you guys could recall, I am a pretty young lad, young lad trying to make it out here in this crazy world we live in. I'm in school myself, in college, just to specify. I just had my first 2 weeks of school, so that's why you haven't heard my lovely voice over the international break, which is just about coming to an end. And club football has been coming back starting today. And tomorrow, of course, with the big leagues coming back, such as the Prem, La Liga, Serie A, Bundesliga, you name it. However, I just haven't been on for the past week or so because of school and work as well. I'm a pretty busy guy, so I may have to change around the schedule. Just a quick disclaimer right there, of when I upload these episodes of our lovely little podcast we got going on here. So I will keep you guys updated via social media, via the podcast. It's still up in the air as to when I will be doing weekly episodic episodes of this lovely little program. But yeah, I'm not sure if I'll be following Wednesdays anymore, depending on work and school and whatnot. Thankfully enough, over this international break, there was no club football, as we all know. Therefore, don't worry if you think you won game week 4 of FPL for the Mundo Fantasy League. Don't worry. The scores are still here until tomorrow. Tomorrow is when game week 5 starts. There's no Friday fixtures today on Friday, September 13th. So, yeah, game week 4 is still here, even though this was about 2 weeks ago now. And congratulations to Viking, that's the name of the team, run by Charlie Sims. 89 points. That's massive for game week 4. I say massive because I struggled quite heavily on game week 4 myself. I will say a mistake that I did make was trust in Manchester United, and then Aston Villa as well. Aston Villa did let me down in the last fixture. But no, it's fine. It's all part of FPL. And of course, my captains Sterling and Salah, underperformed that weekend. But yeah, it's all part of the game, so it's all good. I fell underneath the average point tally mark of 57, while Charlie over here got 89 points. So Charlie Sims, congratulations! You were the winner of game week 4 of the Mundo Fantasy League, and you, my friend, have yourself 15 Mundo credits. Now, if you guys remember, I did mention that we are going to make a leaderboard, but as I told you, it's been so hectic for me for the past 2 weeks or so, trying to get my sleep schedule back, because this summer was just a crazy summer for me personally. Trying to get my sleep schedule back on track to focus on school itself, and my updated work schedule. It's been pretty rough. I've had very, very little free time to do my own thing, so yeah, that's that. And I know Andres as well is busy as well. I'm not gonna reveal just yet why he's a busy man. But if you guys could go on his social media and just surprise him with, it's at coach_Andy32. Just go on his Instagram and just say congratulations. Just say that. Just to throw him off guard. He's going to be like, oh, what are all these people saying congratulations for? So no, he hasn't been able to make the edit yet. I mean, I haven't told him how I want it to look like anyways, but just drop it right there because he's a pretty busy guy and I know that's going to make him smile. So, but no, back to reality. Back for what you guys are all here for. Enough chit chat about personal life stuff, yada yada yada. Well, I did mention about FPL, but that's okay. I still have to update my team. Yeah, I do actually. I didn't make a change. Oh, god damn it. Wan-Bissaka's injured. So if you guys have Wan-Bissaka, change him, because I gotta change him too. But no, this episode, I have a few things to get off my chest, because quite a few things happened over the international break. Frustrating things did happen over this international break. If you guys can already guess what I'm talking about, you guys are long-time listeners then. There was a certain fixture that really, really, really got on my nerves regarding a national team. And yeah, if you guys know, I'm from Costa Rica, so who did Costa Rica play? We played Uruguay. We only lost 2-1 at home. Wasn't a bad performance. That's nothing, Although there is something about Costa Rica that did annoy me, but it's not about the team performance itself. My anger right now, it's about the United States men's national team losing 3-0 at MetLife Stadium here in New Jersey to Mexico. Now, it's one thing if you lose, but it's another thing if you get embarrassed on home soil. Like what? Why do you let that happen? You know how many people look forward to this match, and you just and you still decide to let us down. Like, I don't care if you lose, giving 110 fucking %. But if you losing to your rivals 3-0, getting demolished at home, what does that tell everyone else? Like, what does that tell everyone that's looking towards the future? With these youngsters like Josh Sargent, Boyd, Morris, Miles Robinson, Serginho Dest. Like, what is he gonna think? He's eligible to play for the Dutch national team, and now he's probably looking around and he's like, "What am I playing with? What is this shit?" Like, Serginho Dest has literally just got promoted to the Ajax first team yesterday. Congratulations to the young hopeful to be staying in American international Serginho Dest. Was pretty impressive at the U20 World Cup, and did play a part in Ajax's UCL qualifying campaign, where they had to go through the qualifying rounds and the playoffs. But it's concerning because, yes, he didn't make his international debut. It's a proud moment, You know how players, they just put generic messages on. So proud to finally have represented my country. Oh my God, yada yada yada. A dream come true, childhood dream come true, yada yada yada, etc. etc. But that could just be his agent talking. I'm not saying he's not a genuine boy like that or a genuine guy, but when you have the Netherlands, who are on an amazing rebuild mission, who are going to qualify for the first tournament in the form of Euro 2020, since the World Cup 2014, actually. Yeah, I was about to say 2018, but they weren't even there. They're on a massive rebuild with amazing youngsters as well, such as Frankie de Jong, Matthias de Ligt, Daniel Mal, and Memphis Depay hitting his prime right now. Same could be said for Virgil van Dijk, Jasper Cillessen, Daley Blind, a veteran in that rejuvenated Dutch team. The only survivor, I'm pretty sure, from the 2014 World Cup, alongside De Vrij, who can't even get a game in for the national team, and Cillessen as well. But that's the thing. Serginho Dest is a left back, and then you have someone like Daley Blind, someone who has lost his legs, because of age. You know, he's aging. He's 31 years old. He doesn't have that much left in him. He probably could push to make it for the 2022 World Cup. But at this rate, it's looking like Euro 2020 will be the curtain call in his international career, you know, depending on how he feels. After that, there's going to be a void in the left back position for the Dutch national team. And who happens to be a left back? Serginho Dest. Now, you might look at that and say, play for this crap USA team or go represent the Netherlands, who have a genuine shot of winning an international tournament. Whether that be in the form of a Euro or a World Cup. A World Cup may seem far-fetched, but you never know. My problem is, another problem I have with this is people calling already Berhalter out, Greg out. Now, I do understand the frustration with Greg Berhalter calling up his Columbus boys. I was a big fan of Vilchap. I believe he was one of the best players in our interim coach phase with Dave Saracen after we failed to qualify for the World Cup. Throughout the course of 2018, I believe he was one of our better players. Vilchap was, you know, sensational in the midfield. He led us in those dark times because, I'm being honest with you, those were horrible times. As an American fan, not being in the World Cup, that hurt. You know, I'm getting frustrated thinking of it. I just don't understand how the performance levels of Vilchap could just like plummet so badly from a really good, solid 2018 with the national team to just like this entire year he's been shit. Couldn't secure a starting place at the Gold Cup. Like, oh my gosh. When Michael Bradley is starting over you in the national team, that's how you know. That's how you know you've hit a pretty low level. Like, oh my god. And it's so aggravating because I defended Vilchap. I always said the best will come. There's a player in there. He was wanted in Europe not too long ago. From his performances in 2018 alone, he was attracting attention from the Eredivisie, from the Belgian league, and from the Bundesliga, from the lower Bundesliga teams. Of course, not like a giant team, but still. It's just made me look like a fool defending this guy, saying that there's a player in there. There is a player in there. But if he's not performing, don't play him. Don't play him. Don't put him on. Don't start him. Don't call him up if he's not performing well. Even his performances for Columbus has dipped. Oh my gosh. So I do understand the frustration with someone like Vilchap. Another Columbus boy that's got me frustrated. Now this man I do not defend. This man, when I was younger, maybe in 2014, 2015, I said, yeah, he's the future. Nah, get this man far away from the U.S. men's national team setup. Far away, please get him. I don't want him, no. If we qualify, and I'm saying as a big if, because I'm still iffy, you know. If we qualify for the 2022 World Cup, because you know after the 2018 incident, I wouldn't be surprised if we don't qualify again. Giazi Zardes. This is the man I'm talking about in question. Giazi Zardes. You guys know how I've said in the past, Josie Altidore is a fucking donkey. This guy, a slightly less heavy donkey, is still a donkey nonetheless. Yeah, he might have found some decent form at Columbus last season. But again, that was under Greg Berhalter. When Columbus had a decent season, reaching the second round of the MLS playoffs, because they beat DC United, in the first round, and then they faced the New York Red Bulls, and then they just lost to the Red Bulls, but still. Oh my gosh. Zardes for the national team, I don't care how good he does for Columbus. He's just one of those players who can't deliver when it matters for his country. Oh my goodness. To think this man was wanted in Europe not too long ago. A few years back, I remember, there was talks between LA Galaxy and Sunderland. Obviously, Sunderland was still in the Premier League, but could you imagine JLC Zardes playing in the fucking Premier League? That's a fucking... Oh my god. That would have been worse than when Josie Altidore was there. Oh my god. This man... I'm gonna tell you the problem with this man. He plays like a pussy. Honestly, I'm sorry. I hate using profanity on the podcast. I'm not a fan of it, honestly, but this man just plays like he's scared. He's not aggressive enough. He gives the ball away, and he's okay with it. He's just okay with it. I don't understand. Like, you're playing for your country. Who does that? Who does that? Honestly. Oh my god. And then, bro, just play Josh Sargent now. Make him the starter. He's gonna get even more game time for Werder Bremen this season. Claudio Pizarro is old. He's not gonna play forever. Come on, just play him. I feel so bad for Josh Sargent. Not getting proper game time with the national team. Not getting proper game time for Werder Bremen when he's proven he can score against opposition like Leipzig. Josh Sargent is too good from the Bundesliga 2, where Werder Bremen's second team plays. He crushes that division. If you're not gonna play him, send him out on loan. Don't put him on the bench. And don't put him on the bench with the national team either. We have no other better option than Josh Sargent. And now, watch that I say that. Watch. Next international break, we're gonna call him Altidore. It would have surprised me. It would have surprised me. Oh my gosh. And I feel bad for Josh in the sense that he barely gets the game time, and when he's given golden opportunities, just missed the penalty, you know. It happens. I love Josh Sargent. I'll defend him, but nah, not Zardes. Nah, I've had enough of JLC Zardes. I hope he doesn't get another cap. This man drives me insane. I'm not gonna say Greg Berhalter out. I'm just going to say stop calling up Columbus boys. Call up more people who deserve to be called up. Resolve any issues with Darlington Nagbe, because as DeMarcus Beasley has said, yes, DeMarcus Beasley, probably one of the best fullbacks in the history of this country, one of the best players this country has ever produced, has stated Darlington Nagbe himself. Remember, these guys have played on the national team together before. He has said himself, out of the current pool of American players, he's the most technically gifted player. And I'm sorry, I mean, him and Pulisic are up there, but Pulisic, you know, is a winger. I'm pretty sure, in the sense that when he says technically gifted, he's also referring to the most complete all-round player. And yeah, agree to disagree, some may say, but as I've seen on social media, but I agree. I think Darlington Nagbe is the difference maker. Call him up instead of Wiltrap. Put him in the midfield with Weston McKennie. We've barely seen that. Try it. Please, just try it and see what happens. I don't even remember when was the last time Nagbe played for the country. It's annoying. It's just a lot of things wrong. I mean, people like Tim Ream don't play for this fucking country again. Just get the fuck out. I'm sorry. The only defenders I want in that fucking backline are Reggie Cannon, still a good right back. Sergino Dest, we need him in there. Aaron Long is a decent player. I think he gets too much hype occasionally. That's just the inner New York City football club fan in me. But I still think he obviously still has something to offer there. And for the for another defender I take in there, probably John Brooks, 100%. Honestly, he's like one of our best American players according to FIFA as well. He is the best American player on FIFA. Him and Pulisic. It's hard to argue that, but he's a pretty good defender. The other defenders I take in there is DeAndre Yedlin. Who else can I take in there? Miles Robinson has been pretty good. Although I would put him as like a right mid if anything. Matt Miazga. He's been pretty solid at Reading this season. Yeah, as for the keepers, I'm pretty happy with the keeper setup. Just Brad Guzan could just retire already for all I care. Another wanker there. I have to say I feel bad for Zach Steffen. He took a lot of abuse from the Mexican fans, with the usual puto chants, but shout out to my friend Jimmy on this one, who was actually at the game. He was getting a lot of abuse hurled at him and trash hurled at him. If you guys aren't aware, I've been to a few Mexico games in my lifetime against Costa Rica, and the fans don't play around. They'll literally throw cups of piss. It's a very common thing to happen in Central America, according to my parents who have gone to many Saprissa La Liga games and other Costa Rica international fixtures back in Costa Rica when they still lived there before I was born. It's a common thing in Central America and Mexico as well for plastic cups or the beer cups that they serve you at the stadium. Like once they're finished, you just take a piss in them and you just fling them. So it's a common occurrence, or like the stadium food or just any trash you have on you, just to fling it at opposing fans or opposing players. My friend Jimmy did tell me it did get a little bit out of hand. He had to leave the game early from with his father. It's pretty bad, It happens from time to time. There is a line between banter and just that kind of stuff. My friend Jimmy also got into a fight with a few Mexican fans who kept calling him a faggot, like using derogatory language towards him in front of his father. So yeah, I do feel for Zach Steffen and my friend Jimmy as well in that case. That nobody really deserves that. I know it's a rivalry, but there needs to be some more respect on the line. There, that can't keep happening from the Mexican fans. I'm sorry, but it happens way too often with you guys. With you guys, the Mexican fans in stadiums. Yeah, in stadiums, not just against the USA, but in general, it gets a little bit out of hand. I think there needs to be a fine line between banter and just rivalry. That just takes it way too far. But yeah, as far as stepping up to security goes, I think that's. With that being said, let me just continue back on who I would keep in the U.S. setup. Will Trapp, until he rediscovers some good form, out the team. Dwayne Holmes, from Derby, pretty good player. Alfredo Morales, he played pretty. He had a decent game. He's had a pretty good start to life in the Bundesliga with Steffen at Fortuna Düsseldorf. Sebastian Lletget is a player that could deceive you sometimes. Roldan is obviously one I always keep in there. Paxton Pomykal, I have to see more of him. McKinney obviously is in there. But someone who had a really, really quiet game, Tyler Boyd, that man was just non-existent against Mexico. I'm sorry, I like the guy, I love the guy, but he's got to step up a little bit more. That was just a woeful performance. Pariola, usually a really hard-working player for the U.S. men's setup. I'll give him that, but I want to see more of him, But yeah, and then we went on to tie against Uruguay in a fixture, 1-1. But yeah, that's that on my USA rant. Before I can continue on my other rant, let's just go through some other European qualifiers, because as you guys all know, Euro 2020 is next summer. And Euro 2020 is a pretty interesting tournament. It's going to be held in multiple cities, in multiple countries, like I should say rather. You have places like Wembley, Madrid, Amsterdam, Baku in Azerbaijan hosting it. It's just going on a European tour essentially, and I think that's pretty cool. But nonetheless, to go through them, you have teams such as Spain making hard work of Romania, only 2-1. But man of the match, my guy, you know who I'm talking about. Who's on the Spanish national team that's on Arsenal, huh? That's right, it's Dani Ceballos, man. That's my guy, bro. But thing is, he's on loan, and it makes me sad that he's on loan because tremendous player. He's so good. He's literally Santi Cazorla 2.0. Not as good, obviously. Santi Cazorla was different gravy, but can't believe I just said different gravy. But we'll see what happens with Dani Ceballos' loan move. And then you have, for me, one of the best games of the international break. Germany 2, Netherlands 4. Oh my gosh, what a game. This game was back to back end-to-end action. You had Germany taking the lead through Gnabry. I'm so upset about that. Former Arsenal player right there. Then Frankie de Jong scoring his first international goal, making it 1-1. Jonathan Tah with an own goal. Then Toni Kroos with a penalty, I believe it was. And then you had Daniel Malin, another Arsenal Academy graduate who left the Gunners in pursuit of more playing time. We let him go in 2017 to PSV. Now he's one of the best young talents in the Eredivisie. And then you had Jorginho Wijnaldum putting the icing on top of the cake, making it 4-2. This game was a cracker. This new Germany setup. I feel like this Germany team are more like, what's a proper way to put it? They're like, I want to say like Spain post 2014. I remember Spain losing to Slovakia. They were really bad in the qualifiers following the World Cup. I feel like Germany's gonna go to not a rough spell where they won't qualify for a tournament, but they're gonna go through a spell where they're just gonna be disappointing at major tournaments to come. I feel like Germany will even struggle to make the quarterfinals of a World Cup at this point. This team just looks eh. The only genuine world-class player I believe is on this German team is probably Toni Kroos still. I think Timo Werner is on the verge of becoming world-class. He had an explosive start to life in the Bundesliga. Marco Reus is always up there as being potentially world-class. Oh, and Joshua Kimmich as well, but the thing is, Joshua Kimmich doesn't play right back for the national team because they have Lucas Klosterman from RB Leipzig. And he's been playing midfield for the national team since the World Cup for the most part. And Manuel Neuer, I think he's going down as far as goalkeeping pecking orders for the best in the world listing goes. Serge Gnabry definitely has potential up there. But then you look at this Dutch team. Oh my gosh! Let me just read you the backline. Daley Blind, we already talked about Van Dijk, De Ligt, and Denzel Dumfries, one of the best and up-and-coming right-backs in world football right now. Jesus, man. This French team, the midfield. I said this French team, this Dutch team, I'm sorry. Frankie de Jong, Jorginho Wijnaldum, and Martin de Roon from Atalanta, who are in the Champions League, which we do have to talk about. Martin de Roon, for me, is one of the most underrated midfielders in Europe, which is pretty weird considering I first saw him when he was playing at Middlesbrough in 16-17, and they got relegated. And now this man is a hidden gem in European football. Ryan Babel literally just got relegated with Fulham, but still gets a game for the Dutch national team, which is pretty funny. Memphis Depay and FIFA legend Quincy Promes. And then you have people like Malen on the bench, Luke de Jong. You have Tony Vilhena, Justin Kluivert, Davy Proper of Brighton, who is a pretty decent player, Kevin Strootman, Joel Veltman. These guys, Petra van Aanholt, these guys are all pretty good bench options. This Dutch team is something else. I feel like they're gonna make at least semifinals of the Euros, man. If you told me even 2 years ago that Germany would be losing consistently to the Netherlands, even though Germany did get a win on them earlier this year, I would have laughed in your face. Because 2 years ago, Germany were a powerhouse to be reckoned with, and the Netherlands were a laughingstock. And then you have my guy, yeah, my guy, because I think he's one of the GOATs. Like, I appreciate greatness when I see it. Ronaldo just having a splendid international break, scoring 4 against Lithuania, and once again scoring against Serbia. Like, this guy is just... I feel like this guy's going to be, like... Before he retires, I feel like Ronaldo is such an achiever, such a winner, where he's just like, I'm going to break as many records as I can before I retire. This guy is literally going to become the highest scoring international player of all time before he retires. I figure that's a goal of his. Like, it's hard to imagine it's not. And then you have the Italian national team trying to make their own comeback. I do like this national team setup they got going on here. It's a pretty decent balance, I would say. You have Donnarumma, Emerson, Bonucci, Chiellini still there, even though Chiellini is out for 6 months. Big blow for Juve. I mean, I say big blow. They're literally gonna put in De Ligt in his place. Like, it's no big deal. You have people like Nicolo Barella, who I love. You guys have heard me talk about him with Andres last season. Jorginho. Let's see how he does under Frank Lampard. Probably his best days were at Napoli under Sarri, but we'll see. We'll see what he can do. Stefano Sensi, I think, is gonna have a breakout season this year. Federico Chiesa, don't get me started on how dirty he is. Lorenzo Pellegrini, don't get me started how dirty he is. And then you have Ciro Immobile up top. Alternatively, you can play Andrea Belotti, and then other options are Florenzi, Bernardeschi, Alessio Romagnoli. These guys are just... These guys are another dark horse or another underdog shot, I should say, for the Euros. I feel like, especially with a manager like Roberto Mancini, with tons and loads of experience, you have a team here who can potentially, like, once again, like they did in 2016, at least make the quarterfinals. I don't see why not. It's interesting to see how a lot of these teams who failed to qualify for the World Cup recover. People like teams like Chile making up to the semifinals of this year's Copa America. The Dutch team looking like a heavy favorite on the world stage. Italy slowly rebuilding. The USA still shit. But no, it's pretty cool to see what happens in these rebuild projects. I feel like these managers are just playing FIFA career mode and taking over a national team, and just having their own blend into it after massive failures. But yeah, another surprising story to me. You guys know that even though Qatar are hosting the World Cup, they still have to participate in World Cup qualifiers, because for them that serves as a gateway to qualify for the Asian Games or the Asian Cup. And now you see the whole World Cup in Qatar pisses me off, and that just pisses me off even more. Why is a host nation playing qualifiers for a World Cup, but even though if they fail to qualify, they'll still be in the World Cup? Like, what? I just hate FIFA, man. Like, I just have to talk about it because we're on the topic of qualifiers. I'm going to say qualifiers. You know, we had qualifiers in Africa and Asia start up. I'm not sure about Oceania, because it's a pretty small province. I figure they start pretty late, since since I'm pretty sure there's less than 10 nations in that region. But yeah, it's pretty cool to see, you know, World Cup qualifiers start only a year after the World Cup. I can't wait for the next World Cup. Even though it's in Qatar, then that ruins the vibe, but it's whatever, man. Getting away from international football, I would like to say one last thing to end on it. It was regarding my rant. Now the Costa Rican national team, you know, it's just a laughing stock in this case. I'm not gonna go as far as to say like we're just shit like the USA. We are pretty bad, but you know we had a pretty good manager in Gustavo Matos's serial winner in Mexico. Was you know a little bit pragmatic during the Gold Cup in the sense that he took it easy in the group stages, took it too easy, and then we lost against Haiti. But then turned on a show against Mexico, and then we nearly beat Mexico. Unlucky to lose on penalties, but yeah, Gustavo Matosas resigned from being manager of the national team. Like in the press conference where he was supposed to announce his players he's called up, instead of doing that, he literally said, "I'm resigning from the job." His reason being was this, and this made headlines on Bleacher Report, ESPN, and all of the above. He literally said, "Oh, I didn't know being the coach of a national team would be so boring. I'm only with my players for about 2 weeks max." Every few months, it's killing me. I need more football. Fair enough for the honesty on his behalf, and for being so blunt and straightforward. But just fuck off, bro. Like you just literally like you kind of made a fool of yourself and of us. Like, let's just go fuck yourself, man. Like you were a decent manager. Like, just go fuck yourself. Honestly, that really pissed me off. like who says that? Who says that shit? Like, what the fuck? Oh my gosh. Just... enough. Because I'm gonna pop a blood vessel. But no, going back on the topic of club football. Football is back. Thank the Lord. Because I was gonna drive my head insane. I was gonna go insane without football this weekend. If I had to go through another weekend of it. We have, as I said, the Premier League's back in action. You have a big game tomorrow in the form of Chelsea versus Wolves. That's a pretty good game. Dortmund, Leverkusen. Leipzig, Bayern. Come on, Leipzig. Fiorentina, Juve. You have Barca versus Valencia. Like, what else could you ask for, bro? Football is back. Sorry, excuse me. That was pretty unprofessional of me. I kind of just let out a small burp. And then you have on Sunday, the 15th of September, Monaco, Marseille. You have Roma, Sassuolo. Sassuolo, look out for them this season. Betis, Getafe. And that's another low-key like cracker of a game right there, because you guys know how much I love Real Betis. And Getafe, after the season they had last year, watch out for that one. But as far as club football goes, there's a certain competition that's back on Tuesday. I'm pretty sure you guys all know what I'm talking about here. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, let me play you a quick snippet of what I mean. If I play this, then it will give it away, but I'm just going to play it anyway because this is... You guys know what I mean. Right here. The champions! I kind of like delayed my speech back there because I was trying to find the video on YouTube because it just kind of came to me to play it. But yes, besides that little stupid intro I did to it, the Champions League is back this Tuesday, and it feels great to be back, man. Even though I'm not in it, yes, Arsenal, ha ha ha. I still love watching the Champions League. I don't care. It kills me because I haven't seen Arsenal in the Champions League since I was 16 years old. I am now 19 years old, and it's pretty crazy to think that the next when I was 16, I would have never thought that the next time I could potentially see Arsenal is when I'm at least 20 years old, because we've been in the Europa League for 3 years in a row. Anyway, I have a little sigh of frustration right there. So apologies about that. You guys know I do that very often. Champions League. One game I cannot look for. I just cannot wait for. Borussia Dortmund at home versus Barcelona. Wow. And Messi's not going to be there. Or Umtiti. It's just wow. This is a really good chance for Borussia Dortmund to turn on the style. I feel like this game could be like Dortmund versus Atletico at home last season. Oh my god, when they tore them apart for nothing. Another cracking game to look forward to is Napoli at home versus Liverpool. Napoli beating Liverpool at the Stadio San Paolo last season, thanks to an 89th minute Lorenzo Insigne winner. Another game to look forward to is Lyon Zenit. That's another pretty good game to look forward to. Benfica Leipzig. Look out for Leipzig this season. I have a feeling that they can be last season's Ajax in this season's Champions League. Speaking of Ajax, they host the returning Lille, who finished second place in Ligue 1 last season. They haven't been in the Champions League since I was like 12 or something. Yeah, since I was like 12 or 11. It was the last time they were in the Champions League was they won the league when they had like Gervinho, Hazard, Dimitri Payet, and then they qualified for the group stages like that. But after that, Gervinho left, Hazard left, Payet left. But yeah, it's been a long time in the making for Lille. They lost Nicolas Pepe to Arsenal, but I feel like they can still do something in this group. Yeah, everyone thinks they're gonna finish last, but look out for Lille. I think they got something there. Chelsea versus Valencia. A little prediction I got here is Chelsea will not make it out of the group containing Ajax, Lille, and Valencia. I feel like they'll drop out of it, or at least round of 16 at most. No way, there's no way. And then on Wednesday we have games like PSG versus Real Madrid. My oh my, literally. You have Atletico versus Juventus. Oh, inject this into my veins, bro. Football is back, guys. And you got the Europa League back with we're going away to Eintracht Frankfurt, two of last season's Europa League finalists, even though we made the final. And Eintracht Frankfurt lost to Chelsea in the semifinals. We have two of the semifinalists making it to the group stage of the following season's Europa League and facing off against each other. I thought that was pretty cool, the fact that we both made it so far last season and we just, placed against each other. I'm happy that we're facing Frankfurt now and not last season when they still had Jovic, Haller, and Ante Rebic, who is now at AC Milan, surprisingly enough. But to wrap things all up, guys, I apologize once again to those of you who look forward to the Golazo Football Podcast on a weekly basis. The leaderboard will be out. I promise you that. And also, guys, as you guys know, our social media team, as I said, as I have given them shout outs in the past. Devin Erlin, they're in school as well. They can't do it all on their own. We're a pretty tight group, small group of guys just trying to work together. It's pretty hard when life comes at you fast. So, if you guys are interested in joining up for an internship with Mundo de Football, as you guys know, we are an official LLC. We have, by law, we can write letters of recommendations, be a reference, not give out scholarships or anything crazy like that, but we're willing to help you guys out, the youth, in any way we can, any way that can help you in the future. So if you guys are interested in an internship, whether it be with social media, or on the podcast, or assisting in any type of way or form with Mundo de Football, please feel free to reach out at my personal account on any social media platform at Dave the Goalie. 2 E's at the end on Twitter, but Dave the Goalie on Snapchat, on Instagram. Go to, like I said, on Coach Andy's account, Andres' account right there. Go on any of our pages at MDF Merchandise, Mundo de Football, Golasso FP on Twitter, on Facebook, on Instagram. DM us, comment. We'll reach out to you guys. Any way you guys want to help, muchly appreciated. We'll help you guys back out in return. So yeah, to wrap things all up, you guys can listen to us on Spotify, Los Radio, SoundCloud, Apple Podcasts, Google Play Music, anywhere you can listen to, podcasts. I'm pretty sure, we're everywhere at this point. Like, where are we not at, I mean, we're not on TV, but soon to come. Thank you guys once again. I'll be back next week with talking more about UCO. I'll be talking about this weekend's results and fixtures, and a little bit more about FPL. So thank you guys. I'll catch you next time. This is DTG signing out. Peace.